Press to handstand. It's on most people's list when they start handstanding in some way. There's a lot going on in terms of strength, flexibility, and body type that varies how people press. The big one is flexibility. If you don't have the flex, you have to do it completely different to someone who has the flex. So the main thing we want to look at first is where you can get the hips relevant to the hands. So a real quick test is this. So how close can you get your hips to be on top of your hands walking into that position? Now, depending on the flexibility, depending on the strength, depending on the limb length, it's going to change on how far you take your shoulders forwards past your hands to complete that. So normally the further you have to take your shoulders forwards is lack of mobility. The more you can keep your shoulders stacked on top of your hands, the more mobility you have. So ideally, to make an efficient press, your shoulders won't go too far forwards. So I'll show you what I mean now. I'm going to do two different presses. I'm going to do a press using strength, and I'm going to do a press using flexibility. So first using strength. Okay, same press but with flexibility. So obviously, the ideal would be to work on flexibility and make yourself so you can stack your hips on top of your hands by just walking your feet in without planching the shoulders too far forwards. But someone who's tight might be looking at 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 2 years before they can get to a point where they can easily do that with flexibility. So you want to start working both. In terms of that drill, in terms of loading the hands, walking the feet and getting the hips on top of the hands, doing simple inchworms or straddle hops or something like that really helps to get confidence in loading the hands. Planche work will be a good thing to do as well. We're just doing this drill. Rosie, come out of the way. Rosie, Rosie. So just walking the feet and trying to load the hands as much as possible and trying to get up onto your tiptoes, ideally tip of the tiptoes, and just get really comfortable with that. Practicing that sort of thing as well, so I call them straddle hops. You can go forwards, you can go backwards. The less you can do it without a hop, the better. But to start with, you might need to do a little bit of a hop or a jump. As you get better at it, you can start to do floats, hold longer, tap the feet together, different variations. And then the same as training that handstand push-up, we've got partial range. We have eccentrics, so just doing the down. And we have wall assist, and we can do variations of like the wall assist with the eccentric. I'll show videos of that here somewhere. So coming down as slow as you can, freestanding is the ideal. If you don't have a freestanding one, you can do it up against the wall. So trying to get the butt to touch the wall, low back, mid back, upper back, and then shoulders and head to hardly touch the wall would be the goal, and try and get the toes to float just off the floor. So doing that up against the wall or doing it freestanding. Partial range would then be coming down and touching something and then go back up again. I'm not so much of a fan of using just the partial range, having the toes on the blocks all the time and then just coming up and not doing the eccentrics or the hops that I was showing, because there's a big gap that you're missing. So I do a combination of all those different things. Today I'm just going to go over like that. I'm not going to go into too much more detail. I'm going to do a bigger tutorial later on, but I just wanted to go through some of the drills and ideas around learning the press to handstand before I go into my training today. So those same concepts, those same training techniques work for pike press, tuck press, straddle press. Any other real press you want to go for, you could go like a bent knee, slightly bent arms, come down to a crow, that type of thing. But the same things apply, so you could do partial range, eccentric, concentric, wall assist. Depending on the position the wall gets in the way a little bit, you can do chest to wall, back to wall, different variations. I'm out of breath. So what I've just tried doing is my training today, I'm trying to do a combination of V-sit or L-sit through to handstand, through pike. I can't do that on the floor yet, so I'm having to elevate the hands up and then do a combination of adding into the shoulder press, the straddle press, and then a tuck press if I can. The tuck press is actually really tough after those. The one I just done, I missed the tuck press at the end. So I'm going to just what I'm working myself, just a lot of strength in the presses. I haven't warmed up flexibility wise, so I'm not trying to get to challenge the depth yet in terms of lowering the height of the step. That's what I'll do another time. This is how my tuck press is supposed to look like, but putting at the end of the pike, the straddle and the shoulder is tough. That's how it's supposed to look. Okay, normal, stick any comments below if you want me to do any particular tutorials or any questions on the stuff that I'm training, and subscribe, thumbs up will be appreciated. See you next time.